Gonna get it kicked off in 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to the ESDL Insider Podcast. I'm XX Howling XX.
I am X Factor 709.
Blinking Dino.
And one day they will get that right without me having to look at their camera from the other side.
Don't look at me.
Going
I got it right.
I don't know. I don't think I'm ever gonna learn. To be fair.
to be fair, welcome to episode number 4. I know we're late, but the weather change has done us terribly bad, and we have all been sick in and out. And see, she's gonna cough on cam to prove my point. No, this is not planned out.
Next.
No, this is not planned out. It's just how it goes. We've got a lot to discuss today, so let's get into it. As we head into a brand new schedule, we need to discuss how team can prepare for the upcoming split using the schedule, create team cohesion, team comps, and much more on this episode of ESDL Insider. And let's get into it. When I say the word team cohesion, what does that mean to you? What that mean?
Go ahead, Blinken.
It's how well you as a person and everybody around you on your team work together, how well you work together, and how well you fit together, and how well you make it work together. In my opinion, it's all about. I wouldn't say necessarily becoming friends, but learning play styles, learning how each other operates.
The first step of building team chemistry is
right.
where really you can really define how a season's going to go by that first step by all 5 members to see how serious they're taking it, how much work they're willing to put in, and just making the effort to talk to your teammates. So that all mixes into one thing.
And that's exactly, y'all are very close without giving us an exact definition, which is kind of what I wanted. I didn't want you to get all dictionary on us.
No definition for me, boy.
Dictionary on us. You're like, cohesion.
I barely finished school.
Cohesion, the act of turning multiple molecules into one.
You want the Urban Dictionary definition? Because I can pull that up.
Yeah, stupid.
Probably ain't pretty, but we can try it.
But cohesion in teamwork is very, very important. We are right now in the middle of Worlds, and one of the people who we looked forward to going up the most was Cloud9. They've done very good all through the season, except for they got owned by G2 and Griffin.
I can't wear this right now.
But
that was a stomping.
but hold on. They switched out their jungle last minute when coming to Worlds. They haven't been using this jungle all the way up to Worlds. He's now subbing in at Worlds. That them getting used to how he plays, the way he moves, so on and so forth. That is one of the key things that they pointed at being the issue. So, question, have you guys ever, and this also brings us back to the ESDL as a whole, because this is what happens when your team is forced to sub for you. When your team forced to sub for you, yes, we all know how each role is played, but when it comes around to building team cohesion, you used to somebody play style. Planking is very go in heavy.
Frontline ADC heavy.
Frontline ADC heavy. And it's really hard to play with an ADC that wants to play conserved and everything like that. That's something that's real big difference. But let's start with how you can start cohesion from the first step. Let's start in how you check in.
Let's get the elephant out of the room real quick.
Mm-hmm.
As a C9 fan, you don't sit the LCS reigning MVP for a sub that does not play on the main roster.
Nope.
And expect success. Nothing against Blabber, but no, don't do that.
So I mean, going into that, Are we talking about when people sub on a team, or are you talking about straight up when we all get put into
All
a group together?
when you
It
get
all
put into
goes
a group
together.
together. When you
It all
get put
goes
into a group.
together, though. Realistically, it's all together.
So, looking back on when we first started, Seafood brought me in, so I was already there for my friend, and X Factor, like, immediately we all kind of, like, we got in, we were like, we want to do well in this. So, I'm a very outgoing person online, not so much in person. So I was all for, like, getting to know everybody. Just automatically hopping into games, learning their play styles, learning their favorite champions, like figuring out pocket picks, and it all ties into your willingness to get to know everyone on your team. And yeah, that's it's a real big factor with, like, first getting into it. It's
Right.
like you have to be willing to communicate and talk to your team. And that's where it all starts. Like, if you can all become friends, cohesion is the easiest thing.
Right.
I'll elaborate on that, though. I don't think what she means is get to know them on a personal level. Get to know
I don't
them.
care about your favorite potato chip, man.
Hey.
Yes, you do.
barbecue.
I don't care about
Yes,
none of
you
that, man.
Barbecue. But what,
Howling, you probably one of those
About-
Ruffles lovers, like.
You
Bruh, I don't love Ruffles.
you're a ruffle.
No.
To bounce off that, though. So the way I took it in is the same thing she did. Be open-minded, willing to communicate, and work on just getting to know them. And
I mean, even just getting in comms and bullshitting, like.
yeah, I didn't get to know them on a personal level at all in season 1. Like, that was the least of our problems. It was discovering playstyles, being willing to be open-minded about criticism. Be open-minded about criticism, I feel like, is one of the biggest important things. Don't be afraid to give advice to teammates, and also be open-minded about it. You might hear things you don't like. Be
Yes.
open-minded and just pay attention and consider what they're saying. Maybe you don't agree, but at least be open-minded. And
That's also a thing about being open-minded, and, like, there's still, like, people that will give advice, but it'll be kind of snarky, you know?
It's the way you say something, not what you say.
Yeah.
And that could just be the type of person they are. Maybe they're used to being that way along with their IRL friends.
And this is a part of cohesion. This is why we're bringing this subject up, because making yourselves aware of that. So let's say I meet X Factor for the first time.
You're gonna slap him.
We fighting, baby. Let's go.
It's fight on site.
But no. Not X Factor. Not X Factor. He's not a good example of this. That's an isolated example. That's not a good example of what we're talking about here. Like, you need to warm up to that one. That takes time.
Someone getting hit.
So let's give an example of something that happened. Let's talk about Wadu. When I first met Wadu, he gave me advice that I wasn't ready to hear. I wasn't ready to hear that you don't take cheap shot on Nautilus. I wasn't ready to hear that, man. I take cheap shot on Nautilus. I take cheap shot. It's what I do. I want to hurt the person I put my hands on.
True.
I want to hurt them. I want to hurt them bad. But he was like, listen, it's okay to hurt people, but will you survive? And I'm like, no, I'm not supposed to survive. I'm a support. I die to give kills over. This was my mentality. I die, my ADC gets fed, I've done a good job, pat on back, continue game forward. That's it.
Bad mentality. Bad.
I mean, yes, you're supposed to get the kills, and you're supposed to do all
That's
this
my
stuff.
job.
But wouldn't it be better if you stayed alive?
And got the kills.
And I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the you know you can live, right?
That's an option?
Like
what?
Like walking out? Because normally I go in and that means I'm gonna die. Like I know this is happening and I've accepted my fate.
I mean, part of the problem is you're building Stoneplate first item.
Bruh, shut up.
we're not here to discuss how
Shut
he
up.
fails
Shut up.
and mishaps.
Shut up. Shut up.
Because I mean,
We could be here all night.
yeah. But
Bruh.
I love you, Howling.
I don't have that many. Anyway.
I don't
Anyway.
know. I've played with you, so
Bruh. I'm
I don't
still
know how
rough.
many times I can carry you as Echo, but
Bruh,
you know.
I'm still rough around the edges. And I just played Shin. Like, that was my first game of Shin. Get off my back.
Don't worry, I'm with you on that one.
Bruh,
Oh,
get-
the entire game, I was like, "Hey guys, you know it'd be better if Volley flipped you into a taunt?" And they're like, "Oh,
You know, Volibear all day.
you."
But
flip,
I
and
did
then
get
you
some
taunt.
taunts. I did get some taunts in.
Some.
Like, by myself. Okay?
All right, let's pull it back together.
Let's pull it back together. But the advice that I got, I wasn't ready to hear. Because my play style was always go in and try to hurt the enemy team. I mean, that's the play style I take now. But I survive a lot more. I found myself winning more games. And I've ended up coming from bronze 4 to bronze 1, about to hit silver. I'm in my placements to hit silver. So, yes, it's rough hearing that the way you want to play isn't correct. It's rough, but sometimes it's necessary. Like walking forward when the enemy team is in front of you. We broke X Factor.
Oh,
Or, flashing into Dragon Pit.
there it is.
He's
I was waiting for it. There
I
it
knew
is.
it.
It's been
I
a long
knew it.
week. There's a reason
Or
why there's no
chasing a
large
cinch.
coffee tonight.
Or
Hey,
chasing a cinched for
that is
a minute and a half.
Worth.
Bruh. All right.
At least I get the kills.
But moving.
Worth.
But the next big piece of team cohesion. So now you got your team being friendly to each other. Y'all are talking and you're communicating with your champs. How do you take their champion pool and actually form a strategy around their champs? How would you start that process?
I think there's a step before that, to be honest with you, and that's going off
Ooh.
of what is your play style to begin with. You could have a champion pool, but maybe you play the champion in a different way that your teammate would play it. For example, you could have someone that plays Renekton so aggressive they're willing to tower dive level 3 once they have all their skills up with Ignite. Or you could have a Renekton that wants to farm out till he gets that first item, then want to fight.
Also,
You know what I mean? There's a lot of different play styles that come around players, and it's obvious. So I mean, I think the first thing you want to find out is how would you describe yourself as a person in game? Would you consider yourself an aggressive player or a passive player? Do you want to try to end games by 25 minutes or go as far as 45 minutes? You know what I mean?
Is that
There's
a
lot of
player?
questions.
Is that a player thing or a team thing?
It's a mix of both. So the player thing is more of what is your player style? What are you used to playing? Do you want to be an aggressive person in lane, or do you want to sit back and farm until 20 minutes?
So
Are you?
And the
There's a
reason
mix
I
of
asked that, is because as a team, you can plan for that. So
You can.
So let's say you want to be an early game team. You want to end the game in 20 minutes. You don't want it to go that long. Vayne would not be the ADC you pick for that comp.
Agreed.
Though your ADC may be very Vayne focused. Let's just say they got a lot of points on Vayne. They're more comfortable on Vayne. But she doesn't fit the comp for the team. How do you convince someone that, hey, man, I know that's your favorite champion. I know she's open. But what we're building right now is this strategy. Because, again, we're pros. When we enter the ESDL, we're pros. So we have a strategy that we go into each game with. So let's say for you guys versus us, which happened. Your game plan was to pin down Vision because you knew that was important to all of us. You played around the fact that we knew we wanted Vision. So you picked characters that are early game strong and can catch out people going to ward and trying to get picked off. So let's say you played a laid back shoot comp, a farming comp. It wouldn't work for the strategy you walked into.
Not
Mhm.
nearly as successful.
Just
No.
like
If
Cloud9
that, you're right.
versus Griffin. Cloud9. Why did you pick that comp,
That
bro?
was such a sad game to
Bro,
watch
why
at
did
work
you
today.
pick that comp, bro?
God.
That game. Oh Lord, we love you, Cloud9. We love you,
That mentally broke me.
bruh. But so now, do you know the different what we would call the 6 league roles?
Hmm.
Are you aware of this kind of thought pattern or process?
Throw it at me.
The 6 league roles. So there's 5 roles in league, but there are 6 overall comp roles that you can fit into. So I'm gonna give them to you, and as I start giving them to you, you're gonna go, that
I
makes
probably already know where you're going with this, but go ahead.
right. Hard CC, hard engage, disengage, poke, wave clear, and tank. These are the 6 important things that a team should have to cover all of their bases. So when you're in a team game, having all 6 is very important because this way you don't get caught on their front lacking. You don't. So, for example, if you don't have hard engage, that means you can do damage in a fight, but you can't start one if you want to. While the enemy team can have hard engage and you can't do nothing about it.
It's about playing. You got to be able to adjust as you play, though. So that comes along with chemistry, communication, being open-minded, things like it. It all
But if you don't,
forms in together as one.
my whole
So
thing is if you don't have these tools, how can you do it?
true, and it's very difficult to build any team comp that will have all 6 of those. That is not an easy task by any means. It's
Are you
possible.
are
Do
you
your
ready?
homework. It's possible.
Are you ready?
It is possible.
I'm
Go.
going to hit you with a link called lolcompbuilder.com.
I have seen this.
You have seen this.
I
So
have.
this is a tool that I use during Worlds. And I put together a scorecard for every comp put together at Worlds so far. Yes, I am that big of a nerd so far. Now the
Yeah, I wish I
scorecard.
could do that at my job. Shit.
So the scorecard. The scorecard is amazing because of one reason. One, it lets you know if you can what percentage of all of these tasks you get. It even does physical, magic damage, utility as well, early and late game. So how far can you carry the game? This will let you know where your comp is and where your comp is strong at. So if you don't know where your team is strong, this will help you figure it out. Which is why I'm bringing it up in the ESDL.
Mm-hmm.
In the insider, because this is really going to help you figure out where your comp wants to be, because once you get your cohesion together, the next thing is fitting out how your team plays. So when you see people like G2, fucking Griffin, Funplex, they all like to play through their bottom lanes, early game bottom lane stuff, right? Shout out Griffin.
Yeah. I mean, Griffin's a hard one because they changed it up almost every game. But yes, for the most part, you're right. They
Right.
did play around bot lane.
They played a lot around bot lane a lot. They played through top if they're ahead, but that's just pro adjustment, just making adjustments on the fly.
Yeah, that's many months and even years of
Yeah.
chemistry built up with a coaching staff. That's more depth than we could ever get into right
Right.
now.
But we're just trying to give you tools for when you're first starting your first season and you need to build a comp, a strategy. So I'm gonna ask you guys, since you two are on a team, do you have a team playbook?
I wouldn't say a playbook per se. We have what we would, well, it's now being adjusted due to some changes on the team going into the season, but we
Right.
have what we would call our safe picks / pocket picks. We have people on champions that we are very comfortable playing, but we also know mesh well with the other champs. So we, like I said, it's still a work in progress as a couple of us have changed roles. We brought in some new members, but we can build a comp around those pocket sets to start with and make adjustments if needed.
Like to say, if we get banned out bot lane and Factor gets his Volibear jungle,
Right.
I will still play either an 80 carry that can slow, Ashe,
right,
a long range, Caitlyn or Jen, and we'll stick with that. The front line goes in and gets them to us, and then we just melt them down slowly, and that's kind of how it goes for. We kind of pick around who gets to lock in first, and what comp we want to build off of that.
All right. So I want to give you an. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know you weren't finished. Go ahead. Sorry.
If we go up against a highly aggressive team that focuses on ganks, we play the safe lanes. We know that.
Don't give up your whole strategy.
Don't worry, we're
don't give up your whole strategy.
We're in a very big change period right now, so don't even worry about it.
It's not going to be the same coming up, but we've learned that you can't just go into a competitive match just set on one comp.
You'll never get it.
No.
Yeah.
You'll never get
it. I legitimately mean you will never get it.
Especially here.
On the first game. Maybe the first game, and that's it. You ain't seeing it again.
Especially here.
That's why we have so many different other picks that we have in our pocket that all mesh well together for pick comps, for siege comps, for just anti-warding comps. Like we've been working on it. It's just now that we have new people coming into the team, there's going to be more work to put into play, more cohesion to get.
Right.
More team practice.
Which we will be doing after this, by the way.
Word. Yep. So, you guys gave great answers, but that is not what I mean.
You know what, then?
When I asked for a playbook. Hold on.
Playbook?
Hold on.
Fuck howling in the ass. Fuck howling in the ass again. And then fuck howling in the ass 3 times. There we go.
Bruh.
So, for everyone that's in Howling's division, when he gets drafted, pay close attention. He's about to throw out his playbook. So, go ahead, Howling.
I'm not throwing out my playbook.
No,
I'm only throwing out one thing, right? So, after playing y'all, something and this is only from y'all, we seen you guys do something that I wanted my team to imitate, right? We seen you guys do, because I watched the tapes. I watched that game 6 times. Over and over and over again from every perspective. And there's something that you guys did that I wanted my team to imitate. So I'm going to break it down. So this way you can never use this strategy ever again.
Yeah, right.
Good luck.
Okay. So this strategy went like this. At 4 minutes exactly, you warded, popped the blast plant behind Dragon, and warded it up. By 5 minutes, he played toward the bottom lane. Pushed us out. He didn't focus on killing us, but just pushing us out of lane. You took Dragon by 5:30.
Is this first or second game?
First game. First game.
That's what I thought. Okay.
First game. You took Dragon by 5:30, and then by that time, you then all picked up yourselves and rotated mid. You rotated mid, knocked it down, and you did the same thing top lane. Pushed them out, destroyed the blast cone, and got Rift Herald. All within a roughly 5 minutes time span.
Remember one thing about that, though. That comes off of one thing that I noticed before the game even started. Jungle advantage. And it's you cannot do this if you are a jungler that cannot fight early or have good survivability early.
Yeah.
I played a champion that I know going against your jungler, if I ran into him 1v1 at level 4, I was going to be okay.
Right.
Or at least have the potential to get away if needed.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a jungler that I know I cannot succeed against you level 1, level 2, level 3,
those plays would be more passive.
Those plays become very passive. I will still look for those wards, but the zoning out a certain lane
Right.
becomes a much scarier situation, because if I do say come bottom, run into that tri-Russian, bam, I just ran into a Zinjiao at level 4. He's got his combo ready to smack me in the face, and I'm cooked. Ain't gonna end well. And I just basically threw away potentially not even just jungle, but bot lane as well. Because if bot lane rotates up, then that's gold all around the three
Correct.
people. There's a lot more that goes into it than just that, but your idea of the whole
Again, that's why I said
Yeah.
you didn't have to elaborate on that one. I was I was just trying to, because the reason for that is I didn't want you to elaborate because I didn't want you to ban the champions that you did this stuff with, blah blah blah. I just wanted to put out that this is something that you did and we noticed it. So what I did to my team is I made it a call. I made that a call for my team. This is now a part of our playbook.
it's definitely something to
So
add in.
if
100%.
we see that, okay, our jungler is fine, we do have wards up, the bot lane is doing fine, let's push it. Let's push it. At 4 minutes, someone on our team will realize that all of this stuff is up. I'm not gonna tell you who because we're not giving that away. It's not me. Shut up. But what I'm saying is we'll call out a single word. We'll call out a single word, and that will let everybody know what the playbook is. Everyone knows what to do when they hear that word. We even gave particular instructions to our mid and top that when they hear this word over comms, they either gotta play safe or know what they're doing, know that they can get that kill and get out safely because they will not have the support of the jungle because they're gonna be playing on the bottom side of the map. This it's a play.
It's smart.
So it's a
a very
word
smart
that
play.
triggers multiple habits
Which is
across
good to have.
across the map.
Short and simple and gets to the point.
Correct.
Care.
That's what you want.
Not even care, because care is too general. Care is too general.
But the point is, you made it something simple that everyone
Right.
can remember. It's short where it can be called instantly,
Like that.
and you don't need a whole sentence to say, "Hey, coming bottom, push out lane. We're
Boom.
gonna make play on dragon." It's flower.
Why
Just a
flower?
word.
Why
I don't know.
flower?
First word
Out of
came
all
up.
the words you could have picked up, you picked flower. What's wrong with you?
Just
You could have
put
called it Iberation Iron Fist something.
No, that's too loud. Gotta be quick and simple. Flower. Boom. Let's go. Push the lanes. We getting dragged.
This dude, he's like Super Mario Flower.
Date.
We getting flower, boys. Let's go.
But
Date.
there's multiple plays for that type of stuff. So as you watch Worlds, look at some of the ways they set stuff up. Like that one, I forgot the two teams. I know it's G2 and another team where they warded one side of the Baron. They warded one side of the Baron with a pink ward, but it didn't see the pink ward on the other side of the Baron.
Such a good play.
Bruh, I don't know who it was. You
It
know.
doesn't matter. Whoever G2 played, don't ever put the ward on one side of the pit or get it in the middle of that. Oh man, was that a good play?
Bruh, that play was
won them the game.
It literally won him.
Won them the game.
The ward was the MVP of that game.
Yep.
Of that
I
game.
don't know. Wait.
So good.
Hal, you remember that ward that I saved in my Garen game?
Yeah, like that one ward. Wards are important. What we're saying is, and the whole point of me putting that whole long tangent out there is another thing that you can do with your team is create a playbook. Create a word that triggers multiple actions across the board. And don't just make a word that just says, hey, you go do this, you do this, you do this. No, who's responsible for destroying the blast cone? Who's responsible for putting the ward on this side? Who's responsible for ensuring that your jungle gets there safe? Who's responsible for all of these pieces? It's a big part of teamwork. Because this is the work and teamwork that we're trying to promote. Because when it comes down to it, you say that word, it triggers your whole team. And it's something that I've been practicing and drilling with my team to the point where now we've got it like this. That word comes out, and everybody starts to move. You don't have to say anything. Everyone knows what to do. Everyone
Good
knows what
points.
to do. We've gotten to that point, and we drill it. So we'll play a game, and we'll lose. We'll lose the game, but no one cares. No one cares that we lost the game. We got the drill correct. We're getting first dragon about 75 to 80% of the time. That's my goal. And especially with the changes that's happening in 2020 for the 2020 season, dragon is going to be more important than ever.
Agreed.
Yeah, the whole
The
meta
new changes that they're bringing in is gonna
changes
really it's really gonna focus kind of around jungle. To be fair,
Exactly. It's gonna.
this is where jungle is going to shine.
Thank you. After so many years, thank you.
No, thank you. Because it's
Yes.
gonna make it. It's gonna make it hard for some people. Like
Listen,
if Infernal
for
Drake comes,
for years,
go for it.
jungle has been thrown into the dirt, buried 6 feet under, and left. For years, jungle is needed. Everything. They've taken everything fun away from jungle for years. No, give us something to be proud of.
I'm gonna
Make
label
us
this
the
X Factor
reason.
rant. I'm gonna
Damn
label this
right.
X Factor rant. Time.
You took away so many good things from jungles over the years. Give us one good thing.
I mean, shoot, they're giving you extra brushes now. They're
Finally,
gonna be extra bushes around places in.
I want more. I want items to come in and stay. Not, oh no, that item's too strong. Let's remove it from the game. Give me my item back. Oh.
Give me my shit back.
Bruh. But we're gonna move on to our next topic, which is scrim games. Why are they good? Why is scrim games good?
Scrims, you can learn so much about your team and its cohesion just from doing a scrim. I mean, even when we faced you guys, like, the entire time it was literally all about communication, focusing on things that we can improve, as well as, like, capitalizing on y'all's misplays.
Right.
Doing scrims takes the competitive, like, anxiety off your shoulders, and it allows you to perform as a team without the stress of losing, you know, your undefeated title. Or it's just a great way to learn about certain team styles and what you might face.
Now more than ever is the perfect time to scrim.
Right.
With the new system coming up for ESDL, where they're not basing you anymore off your solo duo rank, they're basing you off this competitive rank. This is now more than ever the time to do scrims. Get yourself in that competitive scene without the risk of losing your competitive rank. Get yourself in that mindset of figuring out what you're doing wrong in competitive things. There could be things you're doing right in solo duo that you're not taking over to competitive that would actually be helpful, and vice versa. There could be things that you're doing there that are not helpful in competitive.
Right.
Like, once we have our team schedule set up for us, we're going to try to be getting as many scrims in as possible.
Right.
To be included with our practice times. Like, if we can get a scrim, like, that's great if we can, because this is the best time more than ever for ESDL to get scrims. And I mean, throw it out on the ESDL Discords.
I mean, there's Discords dedicated to scrims.
Right.
If you even look at it, there are actually more teams now looking at scrims than there were 2 months ago.
Exactly.
Like, every day I go on, it's a new team looking for a scrim, or even just looking to play as a 5. Even that's something.
So
it's perfect time. It's the perfect time.
It is. But
it's a great way to test out comps and to test out certain things you've been practicing to see if they work together.
Yes, there's a lot.
It's a great way to see if you can bring this into actual competitive. Yes, test your playbook.
Test that
Maybe
playbook.
There's a champion that you've been learning that you haven't been comfortable taking it into the competitive scene yet. That this is the step before that. You can try it in a semi-competitive scene. And
you can test out a comp that works all together as a team that you've been practicing,
right? And
kind of fine tune it. If you see, you can go back, watch the VODs, see where you failed in that kind of a composition, and fine tune fine tune it to where it's competitive play.
Right.
It's competitive play ready.
One of my biggest things that I learned from scrimming with you guys is, and this is the biggest piece, when bringing somebody new into ESDL, it's so much hope
Yeah.
that they're gonna do well that they don't
You want
realize.
them to.
They don't
You
realize
want-
the no. Here's what I'm saying. You don't realize how tough this environment is till you
Yeah.
come from solo queue.
Yeah.
So the team you scrimmed is a team I paid for all 4 other members. I wanted
Yo,
all.
when you paying for mine?
I don't like you. I paid for all because I wanted because this team because they kept they were like, hey Holland, you still doing that ESDL thing? I'm like, yeah, I'm still doing it. They're like, why, man? I mean, I bet I can get over there and do some damage, man. I can do some damage, man. I'm doing good in solo queue right now. It's not the same, but I appreciate your enthusiasm, but it's not the same. He goes, put me in then. Put me in. So your scrim game was an attitude adjustment.
It was a wake up call.
It's a wake up call, an attitude adjustment. But it also has some other side effects too.
Oh, of course. There's a lot of
So
good
let
and bad that came from it.
so here's the thing. They're gold, low gold, high silver.
Mhm.
Low gold, high silver. We're just bronze. Like bottom of the barrel, shot in the face, bronze. Only thing we've done is solo queue up to this point. So and before we got in your match, I'm drilling them. Listen, do not go into this game expecting to be like you are in solo because it's not the
Yeah.
same environment. It's not. But the second game, they adjusted to the environment. It's a good way for you to get adjusted to the environment with having very low stakes.
Yeah. At most, it's just bragging rights. Like,
Right?
haha, Howling, your Nautilus got stomped.
Why do I feel like that was directed at me?
So
I don't know. I think it was because I called you out.
bruh.
Nautilus 1v1 on the Rift. Here we
Nah,
come.
nah, bro.
Dude, I will Nautilus 1v1 you.
Nah, bro. We are
Bet.
good.
I will go conquer Nautilus.
We are not
Swear to
putting.
God.
We are not streaming this.
So another thing to point out though. So we had our game. You
Yeah.
said there was a lot of things you guys pointed out that were mistakes
Right.
that you guys wanted to work on that you want to adjust.
Right.
The next scrim you guys do, whether it's against us or another team, what you want to do, you now implement into that scrim.
Correct.
Yeah.
Guys, this is what we need to focus on this scrim. What happened in the last scrim was we failed to do this. We need to improve this. Even if we lose, let's make our main focus this game on this subject.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it. If it is improved tenfold, it's improved tenfold. If it's improved even a little bit, it's still an improvement.
Yeah.
Take that time to scrims to make improvements in areas where you are not strong or you're not comfortable.
Exactly.
That goes a long way
Agreed.
in the ESDL. It goes a very long way.
And that's why.
Specifically for us, the vision ward thing that you were talking about that you guys said you struggled on,
Right.
that was us season 1. And I'm not kidding you, that was us season 1. We did not have a lick of crap when it came to getting vision out there. We visioned on Dragon Pit, we visioned on Baron Pit, we visioned our lane bushes. That was it.
Yeah.
We didn't look for deep wards in the jungle. We didn't pre-ward before going for an objective. We didn't drop a ward after a fight to see if we can see where their next movement's going to be. We didn't do any of that. And it kicked the crap out of us season 1.
Because you need to know that League is more of a game of information. As much as we like to think that it's skill and it's very skill based and you got to land your skills and that's it, you win. You win. Get the 3 triangles. You win. No, that's not how it works. It's all about vision, where things are going, understanding what the team wants to do next. And I implore you that if you're new to the ESDL, scrim. Scrim first. Scrim, put yourselves in that mindset, even if there's someone above you.
Like that first week is practice week. Like take that time to scrim. Don't
Right?
scrim with people in your division because that's giving away secrets that you don't need to give away.
Yeah, you don't.
But take that practice week, even though you're just getting together, to work on a scrim with someone else. Like, I mean, yeah, of course you want to match up against a team that's around like the same, gold or silver or whatever. But take that time to scrim out of your division.
Correct.
You have that mandated practice day. And then after that mandated practice, once you get like kind of feel for each other, you can discuss comps, you can discuss things that you're comfortable with and things you're not comfortable with, things you want to improve, things that like you just will not touch. And like just take that first week that they give you, even though we didn't get it, to lay everything out for the team. Work on your cohesion, do those scrims, and then prepare for your match.
And with all of that being said, this is going to be our biggest season to date.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time we're trying to add the development into ESDL.
And it's going to be a lot of fun if people put in the effort and the hard work that comes with it.
Exactly.
We have outside lives from this, but please try to make the time for this because this is going to be the best season.
This should be one of your priorities.
Everybody,
honestly. It should be even though you're super busy and life happens. Say I understand work calls and everything, but like if you have a choice of going out and drinking with your friends or practicing with your team, practice with your team
and drink with them after.
Yeah,
or you can drink while you practice. I don't know.
It's just a whole thing. Like you should try to make your team a priority.
Agreed.
Because you're not going to go anywhere in this league without being a part of your team.
That's the truer words that haven't been spoken. So let's talk about the ESDL Insider and the effect that we've been having. We have been watching you guys comment and talk on the ESDL feedback letters, and we love the conversation. We're loving the conversation a lot.
I go through it every day. Every day I go through it on my lunch break at work. I just scroll through it and I'll read everything I've missed.
We're loving the conversation. I wish we can point people out particularly, but I am currently using Discord to record this, so I can't look. So, but we will make sure I write those down next time, and we will go over them. But we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you feedbacking, giving us feedback. Feedbacking. We appreciate you giving us feedback. The contest is closed.
Yep.
The contest is closed. So the next thing you're going to hear from the contest tomorrow will be us releasing the top 5 clips voted on by us, the pretty faces over here. So if you've made it to the top 5, congratulations. But you're not done yet. Your clip still has to impress the ESDL community. And that clip show will be out, ready to be judged. Good luck, everybody who made it to the top 5. And for all of those who did not, trust me, there are several reasons that we didn't pick your clips. Some of them had some BMing in it, and we cannot promote that as community ambassadors. So make sure your clips next time super clean.
No laughing, no mastery taunting, no emotes. Literally, I know sometimes it is very tempting.
Yes. And one of those plays.
I do it too.
One of those plays deserved it. I'm not gonna lie. One of those plays deserved to get taunted. But
until you throw
but still,
out
like you had it.
Not what we're
you had
for.
it. I would have fought for that play for the longest if it wasn't for that taunt.
If you can't figure out the play that he's hyping about,
Bruh.
I'll give you a hint. It involves his favorite champion. So
I was so mad.
You'll know who you are.
I was so mad. You almost had it. I was like, bro, this is the one. This is the one. Oh my God.
Gone.
Ah, so please keep the clips clean, but don't worry if you didn't make it this time.
There's
We
still
will
next
do.
time.
There's still next time. We will keep this around if you guys like it. Please keep commenting and communicating with us, and we will keep these things going. Again, we apologize for being late. We are human beings. As much as you think I'm a machine, I'm not. I actually got humans. I got a family. I got a family, man. I got a
I
family.
got humans.
I got humans.
He's an AI. Let's get that out of the way. All right. He's hooked up to a wall charger as we speak.
Bruh.
Yep. That's why he's got so much energy, dude.
But but we are gonna try to keep this as consistent as possible. Again, sorry for getting sick on you. We apologize. We'll be back in full swing next week. This is XX Howling XX,
This is X Factor 709.
Planking Dino.
and we are out. Peace.